Well, listeners, we are about to play a very, very special track on our show for the first time. This is the brand new track from a talented and Australian artist called Sienna Rose Girac, and we're actually going to be playing a track called I Can Fly, which is an amazing track with a beautiful story behind it. So we've actually got Sienna Rose on the phone right now to chat about this brand new track. Sienna Rose, welcome to the show and congratulations on such an amazing track.
Hi, thank you so much.
No worries. So tell us a little bit about To Fly. What did you write this song about?
Well, I didn't write it, but Grammy producers in Los Angeles wrote it for me. It's a really beautiful song, and it just talks about so my generation is the first generation growing up our whole lives with social media, and it just talks about like the struggles, and we just want to do the things we love without having to be judged, and just being free from it all.
So tell us a little bit about these songwriters that you've been working with. You've been working with some very talented songwriters and producers. How did that start, and what was it like working with them?
Well, it was we were introduced to them through friends, and their Grammy producers, Jordan Omley and Michael Manny. They've written for Leona Lewis, JoJo, Brandy, Backstreet Boys, all the big stars. So it was so incredible. I was just so grateful that they took me on. I'm just like a little girl from Australia. I was so grateful.
So tell us a little bit about your history as a musician. When did you realize that you were such a talented performer, and also when did you first realize that you'd fallen in love with music?
Well, I started at a performing arts school called Centre Stage when I was 8 years old, and so I did musical theatre, jazz, tap, lyrical, lots of dance classes there, and so I always sung as well. I loved writing piano, so ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah. So were you someone that grew up in a very musical home? Like, did you have music around you while you were growing up?
Not really, but my mum would always just play like 90s and 80s songs, so yeah.
Yeah. So taking it back to the theme behind To Fly, like you said, it is such an important track, and it's probably something that people who are a bit older, like myself, don't fully understand. What is it like for someone like you growing up in a stage where you're pretty much constantly online?
Well, it's obviously really good, social media is really fun at times, but you also can be criticized really badly, and we're just so visible. So anyone can say anything about anyone. And the main message is sometimes we just need a break and to just like fly away from it all.
So is your hope that people might out there might listen to this track and then think about their own online behavior, or how they can shield themselves from what's happening online?
Yeah, basically a lot of that, but a lot to just believe in themselves and to, even through all this criticism, to just, get through it all.
It is a very uplifting song. Have you had people listen to the song and then reach out to you to talk about their own experiences?
Yes, I'd be so grateful. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very sweet. Yeah.
So you've got two singles out now that both of them are such amazing tracks. What are your hopes for the future now? Are you hoping to do some live shows, to work on an EP, to work on an album? What are the plans
Yes.
coming up next?
Oh my gosh, I'd love to do some live shows. I'm going back to Los Angeles in September, so I'm going to be recording another song there. I really want to start going into like writing rooms, working with lots of different producers, also working with DJs, having like a mixes of my songs. So I want to do so much.
So tell us about that experience of going to LA. What's that been like for you?
Well, I've been going to LA since I was 12 years old. We've been living back and forth there for like 6 months at a time, 3, 6 months. It's so different from Australia, but I just love it. It's a really like talented performing arts environment. It's so fun.
So tell us a little bit about that environment. Like, what is it? What is the Los Angeles music scene like compared to the Melbourne music scene?
Oh my gosh, it's just everywhere you go, if you go out for dinner, there's a guy who's in a musical. You go out for lunch, there's a guy who's a famous actor. Hairdressers are friends with like Lionel Richie, Leona Lewis. It's just insane. There's lots of kids. I also attend a acting school at called Margie Harbour, and all the kids there are so amazing. So I made some American friends as well.
That's awesome. So, when you're in the States this next time, tell us a little bit about what you hope to do with some of the writing sessions.
Well, I hope to take, because I'm only young, I've only been writing for like a little bit, but definitely learning lots of tips and structures of songs and stuff. And I want to work on a bit more R&B, but I still love pop. So maybe an R&B song I might focus on, and then pop song as well.
You mentioned also wanting to work with DJs for remixes for your songs as well. Is that something that you'll be able to do while you're in LA?
Yes, I've currently got one now, DJ Sean from Republic Records, who's mixing another song that I recorded in LA. So that might be out soon. So.
What does that feel like when you hear a remix of your song? Because I know once an artist was telling me that it's kind of like handing your baby off to somebody else to raise. How did you find that experience listening to a remix of your own song?
It was just crazy, because that was like my song to start with, and it sounds completely different now. So it's kind of like handing your baby over. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, Sienna Rose, we are going to play your brand new single on our show right now. We're about to play To Fly. So to finish off, what would you like to say to people out there who are about to listen to your track for the first time?
I hope that they're inspired and, just stay away from all the judgment and criticism that everyone cops it online, but just believe in yourselves and have a lot of self-belief.